Hey, welcome to Paradise Combank Stadium, the cauldron for a very special chat because I have our new coach with us. Welcome to the Parramatta Eels, Jason Ryles.
Thanks, Adam.
Rylesy, tell us first up the most important thing. Your new colours, when you stood in front of the mirror in blue and gold, did it take a bit of time to get used to?
Well, this is actually the first time I put a shirt on. So it's, but as a kid, I was a Parramatta supporter up until I was about 12. So then I made a junior rep team, the Steelers, put that jersey on, and I think once I put that jersey on, my whole focus changed from Parramatta to the Steelers. So being a Steelers supporter, so yeah, they're not foreign to me, the colours though.
Let's just tap into that. You were an Eels fan as a kid because you grew up in the Gong. So how did that come about?
I think, yeah, I'm not too sure. I think it was might have been my dad's influence to follow Parramatta, but then also the club that I played for, Berkeley, our jerseys were Parramatta jerseys, so it kind of all rolled into one. And there was a bit of success at the time as a kid too. I remember the '86 grand final, so yeah, that's kind of how I fell into Parramatta until I put that Steelers jersey on.
You come full circle. Here we are. You're the head coach of the Parramatta Eels. How does that sound?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's I'm obviously honoured to become part of this club's history. Going forward, it's it's an exciting challenge for for myself and to get to know everyone inside the building and the people. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And what attracted you to the role of head coach of the Parramatta Eels when it became available?
I've just been on a journey for probably 10 or 12 years now. Firstly captain coach in West Sydney Wollongong, and then that sort of led to a role down in Melbourne working with Craig Bellamy for 5 or 6 years, and then Eddie Jones, and then onto the Roosters with Trent Robinson. And it kind of just felt like I knew pretty early on that that was the end goal, but I wanted to make sure that I did my apprenticeship and got some experiences under my belt and learnt the lessons that I needed to. And I thought this was the next step. So this opportunity came up. Big area, big catchment with our pathways and that sort of thing, and obviously a strong supporter base. Rich history, a lot of things aligned. Very well resourced, well run. So it was it was obviously a good opportunity. So I put my hat in the ring, and fortunately, I'm sitting here today with you.
So what excites you about the Eels going forward?
I think the opportunity. I think obviously, it's one of those things where you probably don't know till you get inside the four walls what's actually happening. But it's I've been very impressed so far. With the setup of the club. Everyone seems to be aligned from the board down to the GM and the footy manager and the list manager. So it's one of those things that once I got inside, it's been really exciting in regards to get to work with those guys and just see what the future will bring for us.
Those that are too young to have seen Jason play, 248 NRL games as a front rower for the Dragons, the Roosters, the Storm, 15 test matches for Australia, 8 State of Origin matches for New South Wales. That's quite a career. What makes you think you can also become a successful coach?
I think I've done my time as an assistant and also as a coach at West Sydney Wollongong, so captain coach and then coach. So I've got a lot of experiences under my belt. So it's worked for some pretty elite coaches and had some success there as well, and also worked with some elite players as well. So and not to mention the organisation. So obviously Melbourne and the Roosters, they've been at the top of the league now for 20 plus years, and that's no fluke. So so obviously it's one of those things where put those experiences into action and then add my own flavour to it and see where we can get to.
Because I wanted to come to that because the journey you mentioned, you have worked, since you finished playing in 2013, you've worked with some amazing coaches, Eddie Jones, Trent Robinson, Craig Bellamy in NRL. You won't find too many better than them. Yeah. Have you taken some of their methods, or are you going to do it completely your own way with your own style?
No, I think obviously they've shaped me along the way. It's that's why you do your apprenticeship, and I've just been really lucky and fortunate to do it with those guys. Craig's obviously set the foundation in regards to what winning looks like away from without the scoreboard type of thing. So it's he's really effort based, really hard work ethic. And then I got to the Roosters and Trent Robinson. I felt I learned so much under Trent in regards to the tactical side of it, principles, those type of things, and how to apply it, and then also to have the courage to do things differently. Trent's great at that, and that's something that I've learned off those two guys. And then Eddie, Obviously, you're working in representative environments, and it's a little bit of a different challenge there as well because you're working with such good players. And but his unrelenting pursuit of excellence, that's one of the things that I learned there. So you put all that together and then you add your own flavour to it. That's what I'm looking forward to most.
Because it has been quite a journey, hasn't it? Your name has been mentioned as the next NRL coach in waiting now for quite a few years. You haven't rushed into it. What made you think now you're ready to take that step up as a head coach?
Yeah, I just think it's just part of the journey. Probably 2 or 3 years ago, I thought that if an opportunity did come up, that I would genuinely be ready for it. And in saying that, I don't think you're actually ever ready. And I've spoke to Craig Fitzgibbon and Cameron Serrato about their transition into it. And it's pretty much you can do as much as you can to prepare yourself, but until you get into the chair, it's you're going to start learning again. You know what I mean? So it's and I'm aware of that, and nothing sort of overwhelmed me at all at the moment. It's all been part of what I expected that would happen. So I'm just looking forward to the challenge ahead. It's exciting, and I just see so many opportunities in the club where we can get just little improvements every day, which will help us out on the footy field, on the weekends.
Top of our chat, I welcomed you to the Parramatta Eels, but the reality is you've actually been here for a while now. So since July, working behind the scenes? What sort of stuff have you been up to?
Yeah, it's only been 8 weeks. Feels a lot longer than that. But obviously we've changed the staff over in regards to coaching and high performance, and obviously that was nothing personal. It was just if we're going to go through the process of changing the head coach, then I think it's important that we all align, and I make sure that I get coaches that I'm comfortable with, and then also the performance staff as well. So I got Nathan Brown on board, so he's actually one of my, probably I think he was my third coach. So at NRL level, so it's quite funny how things work out. His experience and his footy IQ is going to be invaluable for me, especially in the early part of my journey. Scott Wisemantle, I met him through my rugby journeys. He's actually a past Parramatta player, holds a bit of DNA of the club, but then also he's just a world-class coach, skill acquisition, attack, and then also, do a fair bit of the kicking with Mitchell and those guys. So it's going to be a really good asset for us. And then Sam Moa, he's pretty early in his coaching journey, but he's a real connector of men, and his ability to work with those middle forwards will be invaluable to us. And then also his cultural connection. He's being Tongan. I see that as really important for our program, to have someone that understands the culture, and that's going to be really important for me going forward.
Yeah, Sam Moa was a name that really stood out for me. He was a really hard-working front rower, but there was more to his appointment than just his old credentials as a footballer.
Yeah, definitely. It's he's when you meet Sam, you'll know what I mean. It's he's just a genuinely good person, very humble, but then also he understands what it takes to, one, play at the highest level, and two, he's early on in his coaching journey. He's captain coach, and he's coached at Catalans with Steve McNamara. So when I did my background on him, it's just glowing endorsement of him as a coach, and most of all as a person, just bringing good people into the building, and that's going to be a really important part for me. So he fit the bill really well.
Yeah, and you've got history with Nathan Brown, of course. You had some good times at the Dragons. He, of course, worked here at the Eels for a time.
Yep.
Did you have a chat to him before you took the job?
Yeah, no. So I sort of talked to Brownie a fair bit over my journey of my coaching, and obviously he's had so many experiences. He got into it so young as well. So he's been coaching for over 450 games at the top level now. So to have someone like that as one of my assistants is going to be invaluable for me in regards to just that soft ear to talk to.
What are your hopes, and what does success look like to you?
For me, getting our culture right, that's going to be really important for me. A Parramatta person, really working on the people inside our organisation, and then also that cultural connection, the self-leadership, and getting our values really embedded, especially in this pre-season. Our a connection to our community, our fans, our members. That's going to be a super important part of, what success will look like for us this year, and then also our family and our connection to the past as well. So that's a really big part of what I see, building here at Parramatta going forward, and then also just creating an environment where the players can come in and learn every day. That's going to be super important. And I think, winning will take care of itself after that. But the big focus is on being consistently good at the little things every day. So, and that's what I'll be driving, and that'll be the cultural vision, and it'll all sort of come together there.
Okay, from what you've seen, what are your thoughts on the football program? What's working well, and what's your focus for the next 3 to 6 months before we kick off 2025?
The biggest focus for me is obviously, getting our staff sorted, getting our staff organised, getting the program and the building blocks that are going to set us up for the season. So, my experiences are the pre-season is super important to do that, and we've pretty much got all that set up now. For me personally, the footy program, the culture is going to be super important for me. A Parramatta person, our connection with our fans and our members and our sponsors as well. So just bringing them along for the journey, and then also creating an environment where our family is going to be super important and a big part of what we do, as well as, connecting with our past. So there's a little bit there, but it's, the Parramatta person and a connection to our community and our fans, that's going to be really important for me. Setting that up so that we can get the building blocks together in the pre-season.
Yep. I'll come back to that. I know the members will be very keen on your thoughts on this one, and what do you think of the playing roster going forward in 2025?
Yeah, no, it's exciting. Obviously we've got some elite players in, some of our key positions, which is exciting for me. And, I'm going to be fortunate to work with those guys, and I think I can help them with their footy as well as our coaches. So, I'm excited. We've got a real good mix there of experience, and then also the youth as well. So there's some guys there just beneath the surface that I think are ready to start their NRL journey, and then also, continue their journey as well. So, I'm really excited about where our roster's at the moment. We've still got a little bit of work to do with filling some spots and that type of thing going forward, but it's something that we'll be really strategic on, but then also making sure that we have that connection with our pathways, just transitioning those guys into whether they come in this year or whether they come in over the next couple of years. So it's quite a broad scope, but short answer to your question, I'm really excited about some of the players that we've got here.
You got Zach Lomax coming in, Isaiah Iongi from the Panthers.
Yep.
Any other signings on the horizon?
We've got a few spots to fill, but like you said, Isaiah and Zach, they're really exciting inclusions for us. They'll speed us up a little bit around the field, and then also, Zach adds a little bit of that X factor as well. So, really excited to get to work with him, and obviously, Mitchell and Dylan and those guys speak for themselves. So, again, it's an exciting challenge, but looking forward to it.
One question you might cop is about Regan Campbell-Gillard not being here next season. Can you shed any light on that?
No, I think that was just an opportunity for both parties. We come to an agreement there where it was best for both of us. I couldn't guarantee what the squad was going to look like post 25, and then he had an opportunity to obviously extend his career right now. So I thought, I didn't want to stand in his way to do that. And it was just, at the end of the day, decisions need to be made, and it's just part of the game and what we sign up for. So again, nothing personal. It's just I thought I'd want to do what was best for him going forward. Then also make a decision for our club for the future.
So you mentioned Mitchell Moses. Obviously a very important part of the team. He had a breakout year for the Blues at State of Origin level. You must be excited to work with him.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was, I was really pleased for Mitchell watching that Origin. Obviously, I'm a New South Welshman, so, but he dominated those two games, and it was a big part of the reason why, New South Wales clinched the series. So it was, very exciting, both as his future coach, and then also, as a supporter of the Blues, and to see him personally perform the way he did on such a big stage. So. Again, it's an exciting opportunity to work with him.
Actually, you share some stories because you were the last team to win a decider at
Yeah,
Suncorp
yeah.
Stadium back in
You've
2005.
done your research, haven't you? Yeah, no, it's funny that it's yeah. I'm glad they broke that and they can stop talking about that one now. They can talk about these guys going forward. So it's yeah. Whenever New South Wales win, it's always good.
Can you clear things up with Clint Gutherson? There was a lot of speculation. Oh, he's going to the Dragons. Oh, he's going to lose the captaincy. Is Clint Gutherson still a big part of your plans at Parramatta?
Yeah, immediately he's a big part of the plans. Obviously, he's one of the biggest effort players in the whole competition. I've been a bit of an admirer of his for a long time now.
So, Jason, what are your key priorities for the football program going forward?
Yeah, obviously just to make sure that we get our pre-season right, and obviously we started planning that now. So we want to base our game on effort, on consistency, and then also making sure we're working really hard on our culture and our connection with each other, and then also our community, our fans, and our members. So that's a huge priority for me going forward, and that's something that we've already started working on.
So, Jason, your coaching values, are there some things that just are non-negotiables with you?
Yeah, I think for myself, my values for coaching is, obviously be honest with the players and everyone else and the people in the organisation. That's huge for me. Honesty both ways. Be collaborative. Make sure we're working together as one. And that's not just, the footy department. That's all departments and making sure we're working together where we need to. And the third thing for me is just being consistent. Just be consistent in everything you do every day. That's super important for me. It's not only at the footy club, but just in life in general. Just be consistently good at the little things each day. Worry about today, and then we'll worry about the rest of it tomorrow. So, but we obviously have an eye on the future. But yeah, just work on those little things.
Speaking of eye on the future, the pathways, Parramatta's got such a great junior nursery. Rival clubs are always picking us off. How important is it for you to retain the best up-and-comers?
Yeah, definitely. It's there's a lot of time and resources put into the pathways here at Parramatta. So we're very lucky to have the catchment that we do, and obviously that's a really big part of connecting with our community and our fans and our members. They're a big part of our catchment. So our pathways are super important for us. I think we had 4 debutants this year from our pathways program, and then we've got 4 Australian schoolboys sitting there as well. So that's a reflection of where the pathways is at the moment, and that's something that whilst I won't have an absolute direct contact with every day, I certainly want to be involved with, and then obviously align what the pathways are doing as to what the NRL program is. So there's that smooth transition for the players that come through. But it's super important that we keep those guys and give them a pathway to first grade. And I think the obvious one with Blaze, that's disappointing, but it's also Penrith are sort of cherry picking out of our backyard. So whilst it's disappointing, then it's a compliment. One of the best teams in the competition see our pathways program as a place where they can recruit from. So obviously we don't want that to happen too often, but it's it's just a part of the game.
It shows there's the talent coming through. And you've mentioned the fans and the connection to community. There's a new centre of excellence opening up next year. It's exciting times. How important is all those connections?
Yeah, definitely. Like having a centre of excellence, the scale and the quality of ours is going to be. Like it's obviously a good place to come to work every day, and it's going to be exciting. That's that we're going to have a nice shiny place to come to work. But at the end of the day, we still need to make sure that it's a place where we come and work hard, and it's a place where we look to get better every day. So, but we're very fortunate to be in an area that's so big and then so well resourced, and the clubs, obviously put plans in place for the future. Now we're just got to repay that faith and put some performances out on the footy field.
You're from Wollongong. Have you brought yourself up to speed with Parramatta, the club, and also the region, the beautiful Golden West?
Yeah, no, I have. It's obviously it's going to take a little bit of time, but obviously it's the club itself, the biggest. And I suppose it happens every time you go to a different club, but just the amount of supporters and how passionate they are and how much they want to win and how much they want to see us do well and that sort of thing. So again, that's why I want to make sure we're connecting with them, make sure we're taking them along for the journey, and continue to, we want to inspire them and make them a part of not only just wear the colours, but come and see us here at the ground. And obviously the players, we want them to interact with them, and whenever there's an opportunity to train at another ground, or like a community ground, like get them all down there. You know what I mean? I want them to be a part of it and feel like they're connected to the footy team and the footy club, not just putting the jersey on and being a supporter.
And with that comes expectation that they want results. Are you ready for that side of things?
Yeah, I think like back to what I was talking about before, like if we can consistently get better every day, build our game on effort, and I think get good people in the building, I think those types of things look after themselves. But first and foremost for me, it's creating that environment where they can be the best they can be every day. The players, the staff, the people in our organisation, but then also, where they can grow and get better every day. So yeah.
The history of Parramatta, it's rich. 4 premierships in the 1980s. They still talk about that amazing team from 1981 to 83 that won the three-peat. Obviously, Sterling, Kenny, Growth, Price. Who am I forgetting? Ella, Wynn. The list goes on.
Yeah.
What's your take on club legends and any sort of involvement they might have in the club?
Absolutely love it. The more they can be involved, the better. Connecting with those guys, that's a real big part of my cultural vision. That connection with our past. So I think going forward, and I'm not sure, I think they do a pretty good job of it so far, but our language around the place will be connected with our past players and our area and, our past successes and that type of thing. And any time, we travel and there's a past player in the area, I'd love to get them in. If there's a past player walking past, like they need past the training ground, so to speak. I want them to feel like they can just walk in off the street and just come and be a part of what we're doing, as long as they don't get in the way in the drills. But they can do anything they want. Come and have eat with us, eat a meal with us, but that type of thing. But anything we can do to connect with them on a more personable, type of way, I think that's really important. For our footy club and our culture.
That Pricey, I'd love to get in there with the tackle bags.
Be right. Get him down here and you might show him a thing or two.
So for you, it's not like, that's yesteryear. We don't need to worry about that. You still want to have that connection to what's gone on before these guys. They should be aware of who went before them.
No, well, they've laid the foundations for where we are right today, where we sit today. So we've got the baton now, and it's up to us to shape it and continue, that proud tradition and that history that they've started, but then also forge that, new direction for us and make it our own, but then also respect, what the past players and the past people involved in the organisation and the Parramatta Eels have done for us to, put the club where it is now. So it's in a healthy position. We just need to work on that ladder position, but that's something that we'll work on every day, and we're responsible for that now.
Those past players, they didn't lose too many games. They definitely didn't lose many games at home. What about this place, Combank Stadium, with the thousands of fans that pour in here for every game? Do you see this as being a real potential fortress?
Absolutely. I see it as like with that connection, with our fans, our members, our supporters, our sponsors, getting down here. I see it as a real advantage having this as a home ground. Yes, it's a good place to come and play, even for the away teams, but being an away team coming here, the sheer noise of the place, like it's takes you back a little bit.
We better let the members know a little bit more about Jason Ryles away from footy. I mean, what do you like to do in your spare time? You're a family man. Do you like going golfing, shopping, go-karting? What do you do?
Well, since I started coaching, you don't have a whole heap of time to do a lot of other things, but really important to me is my family. I've got 2 daughters, 12 and 10, Giselle and Jada, so my wife. So I spend a lot of time with them. So if I'm not coaching, it's pretty much what are they doing and what do they need me for, or what can we do together to have a bit of fun. So that's a really important part of my life, my family. Not a big golfer. Where I can, I'll get out and surf. I like to surf. Been on the coast in Wollongong, grew up with it, but I don't do it anywhere near as much as I'd like to. I love to go to urban surf, actually, the one in Melbourne. I used to go there because I know there's no sharks and I can just paddle out and don't have to duck dive. So, but I enjoy that. So I'm a pretty simple fella, and I like my garden as well.
So finally, Jason, you can't guarantee premierships or top 8 finishes, but to the Parramatta Eels fan who's renewing their membership for 2025, what do you say to them? What can you guarantee them about the Parramatta Eels next season?
But one thing we'll be working really hard on that, once we run out onto the field, it's we'll base our game on effort. We'll fight for everything and compete on every play for the full 80 minutes. So that's going to be a real big focus for us. Once we get past all the cultural stuff and that type of thing. But it's really important for me to see our team trying really hard for our fans, our members, in our community, and just making sure that we fight for everything.
Jason, thank you so much for the chat and best of luck for next season and beyond.
No worries, thanks.